opportunities. So
Yes.
Bhagavad Gita, we're doing our memorization course. I'll just do a little overview of the verses. And just in case another person pops in, I'll just do an overview. Ata panchadashodjayaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamulam. You remember, Shakshi? I'm gonna close this Facebook video because there's another one already going on. This is for our kirtan. Yes, Adashakam. What does Urdhva mean?
Upward.
Upward. Correct. Urdhvamulam adashakam ashvatam prahur avyayam Chandansi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. So urdhvam mulam, upward roots. Adashakam, downward branches. Ashvatam, this banyan tree. Prahur avyam, it is said to be everlasting. Chandamsi yasya parnani, and the Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, are the leaves. Yastam Veda, one who knows us is a knower of the Vedas, one understands this tree. Adashchurdvam prashitashta shashaka guna pravida vishaya pravaha. Adashchumulani asana santatani karmanu bandini manushaloke. And so the analogy continues. There's adashchurdvam, and downward and upward are prashita tashashaka, shakas. The branches are also extending downwards and upwards. Guna pravidha, vishaya pravaha, nourished by the gunas. When you give a plant, a flowering plant, blue dyed water, what color does the flower come out? Blue. Yes. Actually, Krishna is, if you go on Google and you type in flax flower, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, in commentating on the Srimad Bhagavatam, says Krishna's skin is the color of a vatasi flower, which is a flax flower. Very, very beautiful. Deep, dark blue, yes. So Krishna said, Guna Pravida, nourished by the modes of nature. And the Acharya said, like if you give a plant a little bit of water, it grows like, give it enough water, it grows nicely. So similarly, if you got a little bit of mode of goodness, and you're born like more in the mode of ignorance, a little bit more of this mode, then you get a body as a human or an animal or as a demigod. Guna Pravida Vishaya Pravaha. Adashtumulani na santatani karmanu bandini manushaloke. Na rupamasye hatato palabhyate nanto na chadi na sampatishta ashvatam enam suvarudamulam asanga sastrena jajena chidva. Now, no dance chance. He knows all these verses, and he can tell you. Na rupam means that this tree has no form that can be perceived. Upalabhyate. It has no anta, no end, no adi, no beginning, and no sampratishta, no standing place. Even though it is so bewildering, this material world is talking about the entanglement of our illusion. Even though it's a matrix which you cannot override. You have to cut your connection to it. Yeah, I gotta cut that illusion. And it says asanga, with the weapon of detachment. Asanga sastrena, shastra, the weapon. Asanga. Sangha is, what is Sangha? Leelavati.
Association.
So what is asanga?
Oh, not association.
Disassociation. Detachment. The ashtra of detachment. Dridena, with very firm conviction. Chitva, cut it. Tata padam tat padimargitavyam. And thereafter, seek that supreme person. Yasmin gata nani vartade bhuyaha, that place from having which gone, you never have to return to this world. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye, and there surrender unto that supreme Adi Purusham, that original person, yatha praviti prashrita purani, from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. So it just gave this analogy of this big tree with its branches extending, its roots extending upwards and downward. But it says, no, seek that person from whom everything has extended since to time immemorial. Nirmana moha jita sangadosha, being free from pride, moha, illusion, sangadosha, bad association, jita sangadosha, conquering bad association, adhyatma nitya, fixed in the eternal, vinivita kama, done with lust. You got to act out all the words and it clicks in your head. Dvandvair sukha dukkha, dvandvair vimukta, liberated from happiness and distress, sukha dukkha samgir, gachanta mudha padamavyam tat. That unbewildered person attains that supreme destination. What is that place like? Natadva sayate suryo. That place has no need for sunlight, moonlight, fire, electricity. Nasad basayate surya, the sun, that paint all over my hands. Nashashanko, the moon. Napavaka, the fire. Yat gatva, this again, the same sentences there. Yat gatva, having gone na nivartante. You don't come back here. Tadama, that place, karmama, that's my supreme abode, Krishna's saying. And then he says, oh, who goes there? Mevam sho jiva loke, my spiritual fragments, the souls, the eternally my parts. Mevam sho jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Manasastandi indriyani, they're dragging along with them, struggling in this world with their mind and senses from one body to another. Shariram yadavapnoti, giving up one body. So this is heading into the second of the 4 sections of the 15th chapter. HOME, what is the acronym, Shakshi? What does it stand for? Avinash Prabhu, what is the acronym HOME stand for? The summary of the whole 15th chapter. Avinash Maharaj, Abhiram.
Sorry, Prabhuji. H stands for whether like it's this place is whether it's a home or a hotel.
Home or hotel. And which one is it, Shakshi? Hotel? He's not sure. He's like, hotel. This place is not your home. No, you can't stay here, and this place, and somebody else owns it. O stands for what? Over and over and on again. Krishna's now talking about the reincarnation side. So he says, Shariram yadavapnoti, giving up one body. Shariram yadavapnoti yachchapi kramitishvara grihitvaitani samyati vairugandhanavashad. So he says, you give up one body, accept another body. Just like the air is carrying an aroma, but the aroma is different from the air itself. The soul is carrying different conceptions of life from one body to another. And so in this life, he thinks he's this, and the next life, he thinks he's that. But the air itself is neutral or pure, so soul is pure. And then the next verse, Utkramantam stitam bhapi bhunjanam vagananvitan vimura nanupashyanti pashanti jnana chakshusha. So only the person who has eyes of knowledge can see all this taking place, how the soul is in the let's see, somebody asking a question about the Bhagavad Gītā class, or was that another class? Someone was asking about the Zoom link. It's probably Sweet Baby Krishna. Okay, I think it's Sweet Baby Krishna. Pashanti Gana Chakshusha, the how the soul is leaving the body, how it's situated in the body, how it's existing and experiencing everything in the body. The fool can't understand that. They don't see it. But the person whose eyes have been trained, Jnana Chakshusha, can see all this taking place. Yatanto yoginas chainam, those who practice spiritual life, they can understand this. Yatanto kritatmano, those who don't put any their heart into it, can't understand how the soul is there in the body. So that ends the reincarnation part. Then Krishna starts the M part. What's the M part? Shakshi Gopal. Huh? M? Letter M?
Oh,
Yes. No. M stands for maintainer. So Krishna says, Yada Ditikatam Tejo, Jagat Vasayate Kalam, that light of the sun, the light of the moon, the power within fire, those come from me. Then he says, Gama Vishit Bhutani Darya Hamahamaja Ojasha Push, no, Pushnami Choshidi Sarva Samaka. I enter into the planets, I hold them, keep the gravity. This whole planet, what is it? It's a pile of dirt spinning really fast in the sky. If someone wasn't holding that pile of dirt together, what would happen? You're on this planet. Have you felt any turbulence as you're flying thousands of miles through the sky? When you go on a plane, you feel all kinds of turbulence. The planet Earth,
Bumpy,
yeah, but this planet, it's like you're moving, but you're not feeling anything. So Krishna's saying, I provide that gravity, so you can. I provide the effects of the moon, what affects the growth of vegetables. Now he's going to the fire of digestion. So that is text 14. So Krishna is saying here how to survive, we need his help, this fire of digestion. So, and we have a very small class today. It's just a few of us. Chintamani, is this your first time in the class? Yeah, you're still muted. Maybe it's your headphones. Oh, no, I can't hear you. I'm gonna grab my Gita. We have quite a bit of students on different schedules. Some of them, we have a lot of them that have maybe 7, 8, maybe 10 or even more verses memorized. Pretty exciting.
I saw it one time. I was amazed at how they know. They know a lot. Like they just say it like it's nothing. Like
Okay, there. Can you hear
There
me?
we can hear you. Yes, yes. Is this your first class in person?
Second time.
Second one. Was that what was how long ago was your last class?
It was actually I learned the 9th text. Then I came to the 10th.
10th class. Okay.
Yes.
That was the
the Bunjana.
oh yeah.
Nope.
Okay, yes.
I remember.
Nice, nice.
And then that was it because I
So here we'll just read the verse. Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva. You got a book to look at? Yeah. You can go to vedabase.com. Yeah. Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachanam Chaturvidam. What number is Chatur, Shakshi? Chatur. Yeah, you got it. 4, yes. 4 types of foodstuffs. What are the 4 types of foodstuffs? Food that is chewed. Oh, an example is, it's kind of 4 types of like way you eat foods. Foods that are chewed, like
you drink.
Example they give us chickpeas or bread. Foods that are sipped,
slurped,
like soup, or it said porridge. That's what it said in Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's one. Foods that are 15 licked, like lollipops, honey, sugar candy, like a jaggery, and foods that are, and you kind of chew on, like a mango seed or sugar cane, and you spit out. A lot of stuff like that in India, like the drumstick sabji. There's a lot of stuff you don't eat the whole thing. Yeah. So Krishna is saying all those types of foods, I am the fire of digestion. And as we said, like you may have your survivalist bunker. You say, Krishna says, I'm the sunlight, moonlight, power, and fire. You say, I don't need you. I live in a survivalist bunker. and I've got canned food. And Krishna says, no, I'm the fire of your digestion. In Ayurveda, there are three things. There is food, medicine, and poison. So food is things you can digest. Medicine is things that help you digest. And poison is things that you can't digest. So what happens when you eat something you can't digest? It creates what is called ama means mucus. Creates all kinds of
Toxins.
toxins in the body. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what's called poison. It's something. It's
That's why you get sick.
yeah. It becomes a taxing effect on your body instead of helping your body. You probably if you can't digest it, then it's just for example, there in Ayurveda there's a term called pragya aparad. Pragya aparad. Oh, we got Bailey. All glories to Bailey Pittard. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, glories to Bailey Pittard. Bailey Pittard ki jai.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So there's what is called pragya aparad. Pragya aparad means an offense against common sense.
Mhm.
And that's what Ayurveda is all about, pragya aparad, not doing offenses against common sense. For example, somebody who has a vata constitution, who here has a vata? There's a vata. Lilavati is a vata. So that's a cool constitution. You like warmth because there's kind of
Well, then it's
you're
the
lacking
accent
warmth.
towards-
Yeah. You can
Oh,
get
really?
cold easily, isn't it?
I do.
You get cold easily, yeah. So say Lilavati has a vata constitution. She can get cold easily. But then the cold time of the day, at nighttime, and when is digestion the highest?
Middle of the day.
Middle of the day, when
12.
the sun is in the zenith, yeah. Your fire of digestion is the strongest, most capable. As Prabhupada says, well, that's what happens. That's when you get hungry. When there is a fire, is not blazing, there is no hunger. But when the fire is in order, we become hungry. And this is not literal, like there's like flames, like if you get a little microscope, not microscope, little camera into your stomach. But it's a type of fire because fire is the process by which some fuel is given.
It's
Something is burned.
metabolized.
Yeah, something is burned and some other product is made. So we get some energy from the fuel that we get, and then there's some smoke or some waste that comes out. If you are vata, in the cold time of the day, in the cold time of the year, and you have a cold constitution, and then you eat some heavy food, like that is, it's like milk is heavy, it's dense food, it's kind of nutrient rich, but you eat ice cream at night in the middle of the winter, and then the next day you're like, some evil virus got me, some evil disease got me. No, you did it to yourself. So it was an offense against common sense. Pragya aparad.
They want to blame it on everything else.
Yes.
Yeah. No responsibility.
No responsibility. That is our health system. Modern health system. No responsibility. What's that?
Take some medicine.
Take some medicine. Yeah.
Right.
Take some medicine. What is the percentage of there's like a high rate of hospital deaths that are due to reactions to medicine. And there's a high rate of like sicknesses that are due to like ailments of, because you see the commercials and you say, you take this medicine and it will, side effects are serious. And then you take medicine to counteract those side effects. And it's very, but nobody wants to like eat healthy, control their tongue. Yeah.
It's really hard, but that's in the mode of goodness to eat healthy.
Yep. Does you hear what Leelavati said? She said that in the mode of goodness to eat healthy. Yeah.
People aren't in the mode of goodness.
Yeah. I'll be happy if I just use the mode of passion. No, you'll suffer. What is Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gītā? Happiness in the mode of goodness. It's a little straining. You control yourself, but it's long lasting. You get a greater result in the end. Happy in the mode of passion. It's the fast food in the beginning, is in the end, not feeling good in the end. And happiness in the mode of ignorance is not good in the beginning, not good in the end either. Some intoxication. Wasn't that great at any point? So Krishna says, I become the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join the air of life, outgoing and coming, and digest the 4 kinds of food stuff. And Prabhupada mentions about Ayurveda Sastra. He mentions a quote from the Brihad Aranyaku Upanishad about the Lord being situated in the form of fire within the stomach by that same name, Vaishnavanaro. These are all points that are given also by Baladev Vidyabhushan. And then there is a quote in the Srimad Bhagavatam talking about the meditators, different types of meditators in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it talks about different levels of meditation. It says on one of the lower levels of meditation is they meditate on the Lord within the stomach. And then they say what a higher level, and then actually here's a neophyte meditators often practice on focusing the super soul's secondary presence on one of the lower centers of vital energy, such as the Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine, the Swadhisthana chakra at the area of the navel, or the Manipura chakra in the abdomen. And then Krishna, then it quotes this verse. Krishna refers to his expansion as Paramatma in the abdominal chakra as follows. Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashrita. That's our verse. Pranapana Samayukta Pachanam Chaturvidam. Lord Vaishnavanaro presides over digestion and in general bestows the capacity of mobility for animals, human beings, and demigods. And then it talks about this kind of meditation going higher and higher like that. Different, this is in a,
like Kundalini yoga?
I think it's related to that. This is in the 10th canto, 87th chapter. That's a huge chapter where the prayers of it's like called the prayers of the personified Vedas. It is like a whole big complex subject. I haven't looked the whole context of that verse. I just looked at my notes and noticed how that verse was quoted in my notes as quoting the. So let's practice. Aham means what? First of all, let's say, what does aham mean? What's that mean? What aham?
I am.
I am. This
Aye,
one I
yeah,
got.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
I get it?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay.
Good job.
I was afraid to say it because I didn't know if that's what I meant.
So Krishna's saying, I am.
I am.
Aham, I am Vaishnavanaro. So aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva. Can everyone repeat after me? You can have your thing on mute. It's fine. 7:30.
Okay, thank you, Chandra.
Thank you, Shakshi. Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva. Praninam Deham Ashritaha. What does Ashritaha sound like?
Ashram.
Ashram. Yeah. It's like you staying. Kind of because here situated. Like that's
Situated.
You're taking shelter. You're staying there. Yeah. Pranapana Samayukta. Pachanam Chaturvidam. And it's pachami. I'm just looking at this word here. Pachami is like he's saying like I'm doing it. I digest it because ami is a verbal root like pibhami. I am drinking. Patami. I am reading. Pashami, I am seeing. Likami, I'm writing. So he says, Pachami, I'm eating. I digest. So he's saying, I'm doing it for you. It's a very personal kind of way of saying it. Pachanam chaturvidam. I'm digesting that food for you. Actually, here I will give you a very cool story how a man was saved by his poor digestion. So there was a politician and somebody tried to poison him. They tried to poison him. And he had such poor digestion that when they gave him the food, he survived.
Oh, we
He
can.
didn't digest any of the poison. Just went in and out. Yeah. He was so unhealthy, he survived the poisoning. Yeah. If he had very efficient digestion, he would have got that poison in his system, but he had very poor digestion. So it just went in his body, went right out. So actually there was some doctors, some Indian doctors here who were doing a PhD study. And one of their hypotheses is that in India, they have very high, they're very efficient digestion. And that's why they are more susceptible to diabetes and hypertension. Because if you eat the sugar and they eat the sugar, they get more of the sugar in their system due to the digestion, like just breaking it down because of the potency of their digestion. And then also, we're talking about in India, they studied all groups of vegetarians, and the only group that did not reduce their risk for heart disease were Indians. If like in the African American community, if those who were vegetarian had their risk for heart disease was way less than the non-vegetarian, the meat-eating folks in the African American community. Caucasian community, same thing, all the different communities. But in the Indian community, the vegetarian Indians had the same risk of heart disease as the.
It's weird.
They attribute it to all the fried food.
Oh yeah. Fried food.
Yes, don't take all that oil. Who do we got coming in? We got somebody coming in. Hey, Hare Krishna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Carlos, too. We got two people coming at the same time. We got a virtual bhakta. We got a physical bhakta coming in. And let's see. Mr. Bailey, give us some reflections on our verse here. Anything?
Oh, the fried foods. That's what you said was.
Fried foods, yeah.
Yeah, fried foods.
India is all about the heavy oil use. And not even fried in ghee, fried in oil. It's not very good for you.
No.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Long like your t-shirt. Our friend's got a Chucky shirt. We watched it maybe 6 months ago. We were laughing because some of the scenes are so funny.
It's not scary to me.
It's not. It's super cheesy. Like at least the first one. It's hilarious.
To me, I'm like, I think Chucky has so much personality.
So our friends here, give a haribo to everybody. Just walked in.
Haribo, Prabhuji.
We got our students from all around doing Bhagavad Gītā memorization. So Bailey, you have any reflections? Anything to share? Any questions?
I didn't know Krishna was in my tummy until today.
All right, see, there you go. Krishna's in your tummy. Yes.
The curtains are supposed to be opening soon.
8 o'clock, should be 8 o'clock, yeah. So yeah, this whole section is that how that there's this sense of gratitude that should be developed because Krishna's providing sunlight, the moonlight, even the fire to cook the food, but now the fire to digest the food in the stomach, the fire that's created by the digestive fire that's balanced by the pana apana, the upgoing in these different pranas within the body. how he becomes the moon and nourishes the vegetables, how he causes keep the earth afloat and also keeps the whole planet in a ball without it falling into dust by the Daryahami, by the effect of gravity. Nice. Anything else? Chintamani, give us your reflection. Something there.
Actually, that was before you were talking about how you have food and medicine and poison, and I remember that there's this phrase of Hippocrates: may your food be thy medicine, be thy medicine be your food. And Hippocrates went to India to study, and that's where he got that from. Like, and then we know it from like the father of medicine is Hippocrates, but he actually got it from the Indians, like when he went and studied Ayurveda. So I just remember that while you were talking about that.
I was just also thinking there's a lot of food analogies. Can you think of a food analogy that's given in some of the ancient books or Prabhupada's examples? Bailey, got anything to mind? Any food analogies? There's a verse in a book called the Upadesh Amrita, which Prabhupada has translated as Nectar of Instruction. And the verse, what is the first line? I might have it. Yeah, go to database. Everybody, it might be in my brain somehow. Let's see. It should be verse 7. Shat Krishna Nama Charitari Satapya Vidya Pitto Patapta Rasanasya Nacharochi Kanu Kintwa Vadat Anudinam Kalu Saiva Dushta Swadhi Klamat Bhavati Tad Kalamula Hantri. So Krishna's name, Shat Krishna Nama Charitari, his name, his charita, his character, pastimes, and so forth, they're like sugar candy. But when you have jaundice, what does sugar taste like? Jaundice, the effect of jaundice, it makes sugar taste
bitter.
Bitter. But one Ayurvedic treatment for jaundice is taking sugar candy. So the medicine tastes bitter, but it is actually sweet. And when you take it, eventually the medicine takes an effect and the sweet taste gradually becomes recognized by your tongue. The sweetness of Krishna gradually becomes recognized by the tongue when we're now in Maya, illusion or ignorance. But that sweetness gradually becomes awakened. So that's one example of the food example. The other we gave last week. Does anybody remember the last week example? 3 things that happen when. What happened? What are 3 things that happen to you when you put food in your mouth?
You eat it. You taste it.
Taste it?
Yeah, you taste it. Hunger is you're satisfied, your hunger gets satisfied.
You're hungry. Okay, you taste it, hunger is satisfied, and you get?
Energy.
Energy. Correct, yes. Yes. So that is tushti, pushti, and shutpaya. I got paint all over my hands, you see still. So tushti is taste, pushti is nourishment, energy. Like you, for example, you eat like a nice apple. Before you even digest it, if it has good prana, you get energy. Your body hasn't even digested it yet, but if it has good prana in it, you did feel some energy. Tushti, pushti, and shutpaya, hunger goes away. So in the Bhagavad Gītā it says, Bhakti parineshun anubhava vraktir anyatra chaisha chika eka kala prapadyamana satya tachatash tushti pushti shutpaya anugasham. So just like eating, 3 things happen successively with each and every bite. With bhakti, something happens. 3 things happen successively with each and every step towards bhakti. You get 1, bhakti, the pleasure of bhakti. 2, you get a type of awareness of God that's compared to that energy, that nourishment that propels you forward. And virakti, you get a detachment, a sense of a relaxing of your attachment towards material pleasures. You're just like become less and less interested. So those are two food examples. I thought I had another one, but let's go back to our verse and let's keep on practicing. Bailey, you want to read it? You recite it and we'll all chant it.
Sure. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Praninam Deham Ashritaha.
Praninam Deham Ashritaha.
Pranapana Samayukta.
Pranapana Samayukta. 15,
Pachami Anam Chaturvidam.
Pachamyanam Pachamyaham Anam Chaturvidam. Pachamyanam. It's Pachami Anam Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Sometimes I got to revisit these verses. So I was like Pachanam. I just kind of skipped a syllable there when I said it. It doesn't need all these syllables. Pachamyanam. Pachamyanam.
I have a question.
Yes.
On verse 13.
Yes.
On the third line, the second word, chaucity. Is this chaucity? Okay, yeah. Chaucity, like chagno.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Chaucity. Actually, there's that pushnami. Remember we talked about, we just mentioned that word pushti. There is a lineage of Vaishnavas that come from, their line is called the Pushti Marga. Pushti Marga. Marga means road. Pushti, the road of nourishment. I don't know too much more about that lineage, but just a little connection there, the words. Soma, we got that same word there. No, that's a different word. That's Soma, the moon. Here it's Sama. Sama Yukta. Does anybody know what the word Sama means?
Same.
Like,
same. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same.
Sama
the word same, the word S, the letter S becomes transformed to H in English, and the kind of connection between the Sanskrit to the Roman languages. So you got the word homo, which means same. Sama and homo are the same. They mean the same thing. They mean same, equal, or the same. So sama yukta, to make yukta. Okay, so yeah, you'll find this word. This word sama is important because Krishna talks about samadarshana, seeing with equal vision, seeing that same kind of vision. Carlos, yeah, some reflection. Carlos, he's out in the forest with the trees. We still, for some reason, we can't hear you still.
Okay, how is this? Better?
There you go. Yes.
Okay, I just took the headphones out. Yeah, my only realization is that I'm just grateful to be here, Prabhu. That's it.
Oh, we're grateful to have you here. Pacham. See, I think it's good that I'm revisiting this because I think I just skip a syllable. So pachami anam chaturvidam. Pachamyanam chaturvidam. Pachami anam pachamyanam. Is it pachamyanam? Pachamyanam. Everybody got that? Does that make sense? Let's say pachami and anam. Pachami anam. Pachami anam. Pachami anam. Pachami anam. Chatur Vidam. Vida, this means kind.
Prabhuji, I like the breakdown, Prabhuji, because it's easy to memorize. Because like when I say annam or something annam, then I
Yeah.
realize like something. But if I try to memorize like pachamyam, I might forget. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to say one word and then the other, and just because I think I was chamyamya. I think I was a syllable less. Now that we're revisiting this, is helping me. Pachamyanam, Chatur Vidam. Chatur. This is a Sanskrit. Ekam. You want to learn a couple numbers here? Ekam. Like in the Bhagavatam, sometimes the story will say, once upon a time, and it'll say ekada. Ekada. Ekam. Dwe. Chini. Chatvari. Pancha. Pancha tattva. Punch. And Raghu was just saying that punch and came from punch. He just said that like 2 days ago. Yeah. Ekam dve chini chatvari pancha shat sapta ashta nava dasha. And I always say, I used to teach the kids this, and I go, at the end you go, Dasha Avatar. So here's Chatur, Chatvari and Chatur, same thing. Chatvari, Chatur. So Ekam Dwe Trini. Dwayima. This is, I think, the 2 more verses we're going to have this Dwe, Dwaita, Dwayima. This letter for this number 2 is coming up in one of the verses. Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. See, again, some of these, sometimes you got to revisit these things. Vaishnavanaro. I heard Bailey. I was like, man, I'm saying it wrong. Vaishnavanaro Bhutva. Praninam Deham Ashitaha. Pranapana Samayukta. Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Pranapana Samayukta. Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. That's another one too. I think it should be the E sound. I think it's the English that makes us go to the I. But like we give the example, cha and eva becomes cheva, not chaiva, but cheva. Cheva. Cha and eva, cheva. So aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Praninam Deham Ashitaha. Pranapana Samayukta. Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Okay. Carlos, you want to give us a reading? I think you'll be off the screen because you're on your phone, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Give us,
So
yeah, give us a
I'll
reading.
give it a try. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Aham Vaishnava Vanaro Bhutva
Praninam Deham Ashritaha
Praninam Deham Ashritaha
Pranapana Samayukta
Pranapana Samayukta
Pachamyanam Katurvidam.
Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Nice. Who else? Chintamani, can you give us a recital, a reading?
I'll try. I'm always confused with the melodies, like if you can chant it in different.
Oh, you can do different melodies, yeah. This one is it seems like it's a little rough for me. Or I'm getting had a few words that I thought I was saying it wrong for probably a long time.
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Aham Vaishnavanaro Bhutva
Praninam Deham Ashritaha
Raninam Deham Ashritaha
Pranapana Samayuktaha
Pranapana Samayukta
Vachamyanam Chaturvidham.
Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Very nice, really well done.
Thank you.
A little note about the Samayukta. What is it called? The Visarga. Yeah, somebody remind me that the Visarga is that H with the dot. And in verses, it's usually on the fourth line, we say the aha, or ihi, or the uhu, or the ehe. But if it's not in that spot, if it's not on the end, the last letter in the second or the fourth line, we just kind of say yukta. We don't say
Okay,
that.
when do you say aha and when not?
When it's the last letter on the second and fourth line.
Okay, second and fourth. Perfect.
And if you have the Sanskrit, you'll see it's in my printing, it's showing the Sanskrit is written in 2 lines. And so this would be the very last letter of the first and second line.
Oh, okay, yes. Now I noticed that. So
Yeah.
we have it in Latin in 4 verses, but in Sanskrit it's just 2.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like the meter is like, it's broken up into 4 parts, 32 syllables, 8 syllables each, but it's written in 2 lines of 16 syllables. And you can see the Visarga, it says those 2 dots, kind of looks like a colon, the colon symbol. That's a Visarga. You can learn how to write all this stuff just by looking at these books. It's very interesting. You know how there's like in the back of the books, it has the alphabet. One thing that I learned though, because a long time ago, I learned how to read the Devanagari. And then I thought, okay, I can read it, then I can write it. And I was trying to write it. I was like, oh, I'm not writing, I'm drawing. This is not the same thing. And I realized I have to do what we all did in kindergarten. You write the letter over and over like 100 times. Otherwise, you're not writing letters, you're drawing letters. And so it doesn't come out the same. It's like, it takes you like a few minutes just to write a few words or something. It's really slow. So yeah, I have actually a PDF I can email. Anybody's interested, I can email you. It's actually a kid's letter chart. And I would, if you want to learn this alphabet, you could also do it on Duolingo. They have Hindi, which is basically the same alphabet. You can, do the Duolingo flashcards. The first thing they cover is the alphabet before they even get into any words, and you'll be able to read the Sanskrit. That's really cool. And you go to India, it's cool to read the signs. It's cool to read like it says general store. but it's in Hindi.
It sounds exactly the same
Yeah.
because they write like that. Doctor.
Yeah, you see like English words, but written
Uh-huh.
in Devanagari script, and it's really funny.
Yes.
Nice.
Doctor.
Okay, so let's give it. Avinash, give us a chant. Give us a chant. Mr. Chance, he had a flood in his basement, so we just have his ear today. He's not going to be able to jump in. He's our senior student at our Bhagavad Gītā class, Mr. Chan. So Avinash, Abhiram,
Yeah, Prabhuji.
can you give us a chant, recitation?
Yep. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Praninam Dehamashrita
Praninam Deham Ashritaha
Pranapana Samayukta
Pranapana Samayukta
Pachamyannam Chaturvidam.
Vachamyanam Chaturvidam. So if you ever do, if you have your friends or family, they're ever going to have a child that is going to have their first grain ceremony, the Anna Prashna. If they're going to have their first grain ceremony, then this is the verse that you chant. So if you don't have some priest there to help you out, you can chant this verse for them. Just say it like, we probably say it 3 times is a good one. And give the child the first time they eat, it's kind of like the first time they eat solid foods. It's a ceremony. They move away just from milk or whatever. But in the Indian culture, it was the first grains every time. The first time they take grains, you have this ceremony. Or it could be just their first solid foods, basically. When the baby is like really like staring at you when you're eating, and like when his eyes get really big when you eat something, it's reaching out, then it's probably time. So this is a nice one to chant for that. Nice to remember Krishna's. He's saying, I do it for you in your stomach. Bailey, you want to give us another chant, and then we'll be heading home.
Sure. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva.
Praninam Deham Ashritaha.
Praninam Deham Ashritaha.
Pranapana Samayukta.
Pranapana Samayukta.
Pachami Anam Chaturvidam.
Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Okay, so yeah, this is the last sentence. Yes, Bailey.
Remind me again on Vaishvanaro. Is it Vaish?
I think it
just
should
the
be
AI.
Vaish. Yeah, I think
Vaish.
Yeah, we just remember the cha and the ava is the cheva. Chaitanya. I think we might want to say Chaitanya, but it shouldn't Chaitanya.
So it's
Vaishvanaro. Vaishvanaro. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. Okay. And the Pachami Anam. Pachamyanam. 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 Pachami Anam. It's good. Sometimes you got to say at least 15, 20 times, and the brain is, oh, okay, I get it. Your lip starts, blah, 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 and then they finally kind of like, okay, I get it. So now we're moving into this very next time. This is like one of the most famous verses in the 15th chapter. There's verse number 7 and 8 are pretty famous, but 15:15, this is like the verse. This is like the star verse of the chapter. And remember, we said this section is Krishna's maintaining of body, mind, and soul. And so these past verses, 12, 13, 14, are all about the body. Sunlight, moonlight, fire, electricity, the power within fire, the power within the moon, and the gravity, and now digestion. But then he's going to talk about the functionings of the mind and providing the Vedas for the self, for the soul. So, and for which purpose? So you can understand me, Krishna. So that's a very important verse. And it's a little bit longer, it looks like, but it's an easy one to do, and you'll hear it a whole lot. Any questions? Huh? Well, thank you guys. Once again, thank you all for being here, and keep it up. If you have free time, reach out to one of us and we can try to help you with whatever verses that you're working on. Bailey, how's your how many verses you got up to?
Got all 13. I mean, 13's a little, 13 and
Right.
12 are a little bit, softer around the edges, but they're there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you recite it every day? Try to.
Yeah, so I give myself 30 minutes a day of like resuscitation and understanding the translations of everything. But I go through it probably like the whole entire thing like 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day in the car to and from work.
Just running on day,
Just
like driving.
Yep. Yeah.
You drive, you drive someplace and then you can't get back because you just said.
Yeah. Like you said, when you see someone with a car accident, it's Prakriti Stani Karshati.
Prakriti Stani, oh man, struggling in this world, yes. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Chintamani, for joining in.
Thank you,
Carlos. Avinash, Mr. Chance, I hope that you figure out the flooding of your basement. Get it all figured out. So Tat Sat, thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
All right.